Welcome. This talk's going to be about SIBO, which sounds like some kind of strange little robot, but it's actually small intestine bacterial overgrowth, and it's a common thing. Gosh, I mean, in my clinic, I would have somebody practically every day come in complaining of some kind of bloating and discomfort with their gut. Very oftentimes they've been around several doctors and they've only got the label of irritable bowel syndrome, which pretty much just describes what's going on rather than gives you any reason for why you have it. Irritable bowel, or IBS, characterized by bloating, abdominal discomfort and alterations in the bowel function, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes a mixture between fast and slow. Generally, like all complaints really, it gets worse when you're stressed, but it can continue regardless of the stress. So there is something else involved. And what's been happening in the last decade is studies on irritable bowel syndrome sufferers, people with abdominal bloating and discomfort and so on. The majority of them have been found to have SIBO. That's the small intestine bacterial overgrowth. Now, since about 1 in 6 people have irritable bowel, it turns out that of that group, the majority, something like 3/4, are actually suffering from a low-grade bacterial infection in their gut. That's the SIBO. There are 2 different types of classes of SIBO. Basically, let me go to how we diagnose it or assess whether you have this bacterial overgrowth. You drink a certain type of sugary solution. Over the next 3 hours, you'll be breathing once every 20 minutes into a tube, and once the tube gases are assessed, sometimes there'll be a lot of hydrogen production and sometimes more methane is being produced. Now, the hydrogen production by the bacteria in the gut tends to promote the loose bowel, whereas the methane tends to promote the sluggish bowel, and of course some people have a mixture of both. Different treatments are required. Medically, we know that the response rates are often not much better than about half because of the challenge of the types of medications that are available. In the herbal area, we now know we can do better than that, although we do have to use oftentimes several formula to achieve it. We've been experiencing good success here at IMI through this last year or 2 since we've been uncovering these SIBO cases, and we've got a good formulation for each of the different types of SIBO. One of the factors that is important in SIBO treatments is preventing a recurrence. You have to address the ultimate cause, which is often poor digestion. So the bacteria are, to some extent, the effect. They shouldn't be living in your small intestine, and they tend to be so if you have a lack of stomach acid or that you're not producing enough of the other digestive juices from the pancreas or the liver. So before we finish treatments, usually we're paying attention to make sure that the digestive organs are working strong and that there won't therefore be a recurrence. If you have enough stomach acid and other enzymes, any bacteria that you eat tend to be digested and killed and managed very easily with a probiotic supplement. The methane-producing bacteria tend to create longer-term effects. Many people have come to me with constipation for 15 years, and they've tried everything in terms of diet and water and various herbs to try and make their bowels move without success because they haven't addressed the infection that's creating the methane that's stunting the peristalsis in their bowel. The methane tends to stun the nerves of the bowel. And occasionally when people have got the methane producing kind of SIBO, we have to help to stimulate that peristalsis back through the intestines again with some ginger usually. There are some other options too. So basically what I'm saying there is there are natural treatments for SIBO. There's a simple diagnosis for SIBO. It's an effective and gold standard assessment for SIBO. If you have some abdominal discomfort, bloating, abnormal bowel motions, it's worth getting it assessed because it can be a true cure of a long-term complaint. So you don't have to live with IBS. You can get it sorted out, and we welcome you to come and try the natural treatments with us. Thank you.